There's a book revered for touching hearts from ages 9 to 99. Translated into over 260 languages, published worldwide, it became the second best-selling work in human history. That is The Little Prince, a timeless classic. It's not just a children's book, but a profound allegory, conveying meaningful lessons for adults. Today, I want to share about this work once more, because each reread brings new reflections. The Little Prince is like our own journey of growth, constantly experiencing, reflecting, and looking back at ourselves. It's in these moments of introspection that we gradually realize what truly matters in life, what to pursue, what to let go of, and what's worth returning to. Without self-reflection, there will never be growth. What about you? At this stage of your journey, what truly matters most to you? The author of The Little Prince once wrote, "It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." Perhaps these invisible things are the values that once existed but have gradually been forgotten by us. So today, let's once again reread this masterpiece, using our hearts to ponder the meaningful things that are already within you. The bare eye only sees what is beneficial and needs to be strived for. In the story, the young pilot's first dream was to become an artist. At 6 years old, he read a book about primeval forests that described boa constrictors swallowing their prey whole without chewing, then being unable to move for 6 months while they digested. The boy immediately had an idea and drew a picture. When he showed his masterpiece to the adults and asked, "Aren't you scared?" the answer he received was, "Why would a hat be scary?" Clearly, no one understood his drawing, they only saw a hat. He felt utterly disappointed. So, he drew it again more clearly to show the elephant inside the boa constrictor, and then explained it. The adults told him to stop drawing nonsense and focus on geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar. His dream of becoming an artist thus ended. Children's drawings are full of imagination, but the world of adults has been dominated by practical and concrete things. The bare eyes of adults only see what is useful and brings value to themselves. Efficiency must come first. As for curiosity and imagination, if they don't propel learning or transform into wealth or status, they seem to have no value at all. But is this truly correct? An American psychologist discovered that a 6-year-old child laughs an average of 300 times a day, while an adult laughs only an average of 17 times a day. The more one grows up, the more sorrowful one becomes. There's a classic line in the book, "All grown-ups were once children, although few of them remember it." Recall your childhood. How many wonderful ideas were dismissed as fanciful? How many hobbies were deemed useless? Under the pressure of reality, we willingly abandon simplicity and innocence, considering adulthood as the ticket to the adult world. Gradually, we learn to compromise with entrenched customs, transforming ourselves from innocent, pure children into calculating, worldly adults. We always think this is the price of growing up, but in reality, childhood innocence and maturity are not contradictory. True maturity is not about becoming shrewd or proficient, but about preserving a childlike heart amidst a complex world. In the book, Breaking Negative Thought Patterns, temporary title, Dr. Trice calls the psychological state of retaining a childlike heart in adulthood the happy child mode. Those who live in happy child mode easily feel love and acceptance, are more imaginative, more content, relaxed, and also more willing to trust. You will see that those who use their hearts to return to their pure, childlike essence can still have sparkling eyes, even after enduring life storms. Their hearts can still retain curiosity and purity, even after seeing through the coldness of human nature and societal norms. Just try stepping onto a subway train during evening rush hour. You'll see countless adult eyes, tired and empty, as if covered by a gray mist. Nowadays, even children's eyes are gradually losing their inherent sparkle. Thick glasses press close to screens, and heavy backpacks are weighed down with schoolwork. If you once believed that achievements, honor, or wealth were goals guaranteeing a good life, if you once thought excelling in studies, earning a lot of money, and being successful were the only tickets to happiness, then now, under this dark cloud of boundless pressure and ambition, allow yourself to step off that train. Grant yourself a different ticket, to return to the purest and most innocent part of yourself. There, you will find true joy, and perhaps open the door to experience a different life. The bare eye only sees what requires effort, and must be protected at all costs. In The Little Prince, Perhaps the character who most touches readers is the wise and insightful fox. Before meeting the little prince, the fox was carefree, never thinking about loving anyone or being tamed by anyone. But when love arrived, the fox said, "To me, you are still nothing more than a little boy who is just like 100,000 other little boys, and I have no need of you, and you, on your part, have no need of me. To you, I am nothing more than a fox like 100,000 other foxes, but if you tame me, then we shall need each other. To me, you will be unique in all the world. To you, I shall be unique in all the world." The fox yearned to love and be loved. At first, the little prince gave the fox this love. They were happy together. But then, when he discovered a garden of roses, he realized he couldn't let go of the unique rose on his own planet, so he bid the fox farewell. Even though the fox had given so much with all its heart, when the prince decided to leave, the fox could still gently smile and let go, keeping only the memory of the golden color of the wheat fields. In our lives, how many of us can let go and stop at the right time? Because the bare eye often only sees what has been invested, the efforts made, the things lost that cannot be recovered. That's when we fall into the trap of the sunk cost fallacy, an economic concept referring to resources like time, money, effort, and emotions that we've expended but can't reclaim. You'll see that we often make this mistake, forcing ourselves to finish what we've started, to continue pushing forward even when we know there's nothing to gain but exhaustion. Fearing the loss of what we've invested, we don't dare to stop, don't dare to realize that sometimes, letting go is the only way to free ourselves and move further ahead. We also fail to understand that true love isn't about possession or ownership. Love is freedom, a mutual choice, and sometimes it means letting go at the right time to allow the other person their freedom and growth on their chosen path. Therefore, when you can feel with your heart before every choice, the wisdom within you will tell you to bravely let go of what does not belong to your own journey. The bare eye only sees the joy of belonging, but the soul deeply feels the power of solitude within, which is inherently a return to self. Solitude is the inherent nature of our lives. On asteroid B612, the little prince was the sole king. He owned an entire planet, yet he was alone. His daily tasks included watching sunrises and sweeping away baobab shoots. He had a small garden to himself, leisurely watching the sun rise and set. He said, "One day, I watched the sunset 44 times. Hearing this number, many feel a pang of sorrow. How can some people be so lonely? Today, if you type loneliness into search engines, countless images of solitude will appear. Have you ever eaten a cake while shedding tears or sat on a bus with a hunched back and an empty heart? Have you ever felt adrift, looking at a city with myriad lights but finding no place where you belong? We have countless reasons for loneliness, yet everyone's feeling of loneliness is very similar. In The Little Prince, the people he meets on his journey are actually reflections of our own true nature. Humans often fear loneliness. The rose couldn't bear loneliness, so she found ways to make the little prince pay attention to her. The rose was afraid of the wind, so he placed her in a glass globe for protection. To the rose, if the little prince cared, she wouldn't feel lonely anymore. However, if you constantly confront loneliness by seeking external things to fill yourself, you are actually just craving possession, never truly achieving fulfillment. You merely become vulnerable to desires. In the dualistic world that humans create, you will only like beauty and despise ugliness, yearn for light and fear darkness, crave wealth and loathe poverty, seek closeness and avoid loneliness. The feeling of loneliness is an unavoidable part of everyone's life. As the snake said, even among people, one can feel lonely. When the little prince conversed with the lamplighter, he couldn't understand the meaning of this job. On the lamplighter's planet, there was no one, no means of transportation, so why light lamps? The lamplighter didn't need others' understanding, because he knew his work wasn't for others, but for the principle he steadfastly upheld. This is an excellent explanation of loneliness. Loneliness is unavoidable. Even if we run, drown ourselves in crowds, wander bustling streets, or constantly entertain ourselves with distractions, or always strive for others' attention and validation, loneliness will always be present, whether you want it or not. The author of 100 Years of Solitude once said, "No matter where you are, remember that the past is a lie, that memory has no road back, that spring never returns, and that even the most frantic love is a transient cloud. Only loneliness is eternal. Loneliness is everywhere. Loneliness is constant. Loneliness is a part of growing up." If you keep fearing being alone, you will never unleash the hidden power within you, because our bare eyes only see happiness in companionship, belonging, and recognition, while only the heart can truly feel the strength of solitude. When writing The Little Prince, the author was living in exile. At that time, he was completely cut off from his mother, living without any loved ones. The only thing that brought him spiritual comfort was this unfinished book. And in those difficult days, he created this great work, beloved worldwide. So, if loneliness is unavoidable, will you face it with your eyes or with your heart? Allow your heart to settle, to develop little by little, until one day, when you fully understand the value of solitude, you will be able to live peacefully, no longer controlled by the past or the future. Only by accepting loneliness can we live fully with ourselves. Everyone has a star, but the star is inherently silent. It is different people who have assigned it different meanings. I hope that when we are lost, we do not rush to conclude or decide everything based only on what our eyes see and ears hear. In a world full of narrow judgments, philosopher Shen once said that the greatest prison in the world is human thought. Each of us is imprisoned by our own perceptions. Therefore, in this dense, narrow cage of the world, believe that returning to the heart is the only way to light up your own star. Close your eyes to let your soul find the purity of the child within you, and when facing crossroads in life, let wisdom guide you to stop at the right moment when moving forward. Sometimes, all it takes is to settle down and return to yourself, enjoying the solitude and the unique light of the star in your heart. May we always remind ourselves at every step of the way that what is most important cannot be seen by the bare eye. Only the heart can see it clearly.